Welcome to part 7. In part 7 we'll show you how to glue two pieces together over thread and extension, and we'll make one of the KITE threads. So let's begin. Okay, so we will start with making a template. What we've got here, we've got thread and extension prepared. This time we will put two pieces together, we'll bond them together, and then we'll cut the shape out of this rectangle thread. As I mentioned before, the adhesive we use is a 5-minute polyurethane lumberjack adhesive. So it starts activating after 5 minutes. So what Martin is doing is preparing all the clamps needed. We've got pieces of that timber which we will put underneath. The tape is there so it stops glue. The glue will stop on that piece of paper instead of gluing wood to wood. The excess glue will go through the gap at the top and the bottom. It will stick to the tape. We're also preparing these belts, which will be putting some tension so it bonds together. So we try to prepare everything beforehand, so when we start we've got 5 minutes to bond it together. Okay, so we'll apply the adhesive into the groove to the extension, and we'll apply adhesive into the groove in the thread. That's the 4 pen piece, which initially creates the same as wooden floor would do. So we've got a tongue and groove over there. Adhesive is applied on both sides, the top and the bottom side, so it spreads equally. So once glue is applied, we've got 5 minutes to bond it together, so the time is more than sufficient to do it if you have prepared everything beforehand. Okay, so we've got these pieces, as I have mentioned before, these two timber pieces, as they are there to keep the thread straight. So when we put some tension in these clamps, it doesn't actually pull it. So if you don't use it, you're very likely to have that thread bowed. So definitely put some sort of support so it doesn't bow. Very important part is when we put these belts in, we just put some sort of support pieces or protection pieces underneath, so as the tension builds up, obviously there will be more pressure into the material, so we want to keep material nice and clean with no dints or dents. So very important to put some sort of protection underneath the sharp parts or hard parts of the clamps. Okay, so as you can see, as I said before, the polyurethane glue or adhesive is slightly foam. It works like expanding foam in a smaller scale, but as you can see it starts coming out, and this is what you want to see, the glue coming out here and there. We will obviously, when it dries, we will sand it out, creating a nice surface. So we'll wait for that for the adhesive to bond, for these two pieces to bond together, and we'll move into making a sample. Okay, so as we move now to make the template, we will be using the adhesive part and the spray part. It's a two-part adhesive where the spray part is the activator for that glue. Therefore the glue activates very fast. Within 3 or 4 seconds you'll have two pieces bonded together. Okay, so we'll begin making a template. So as you can see, Martin already did a cut over the angle in that corner. It doesn't have to be perfectly the angle of that thread. As you can see, I'll just follow Martin's steps on how to make it. Okay, so let's see what's happening there. Okay, so we've got first piece. As you can see, it's not perfect, but it will be at the end. So we'll add another piece there. So we add adhesive on one part, and we spray the other part. Like I said before, for about 3-4 seconds, it should adhere and should bond. Okay, so what have we got? The other piece Martin cut, and he will put it, as you can see, it will close in. and he also marked it there. Okay, we'll cut the excess off. Okay, so we continue with making a template. As you can see, the adhesive part is attached again to one part, the spray to other part, and again it should take a few seconds just to for the glue to start bonding. Then Martin will be attaching that piece over here in the front. Very important part, as I said before, the piece which we're gonna attach now. If you see, that side is the front of the riser, and that's very important part, as when we move that template across to the thread, it's very important to remember that this is the front of the thread. Okay, we'll just add one more piece. This piece is actually just to support the strength of the template itself, so just additional piece so it doesn't fall apart. Okay, so let's see, we've got the template already made. We'll move to our thread. So Martin already took the clamps off, and let's see how it looks. So that's where the little wooden pieces were. This is where another one. As you can see, there's a nice line of glue just pop out. So now we're going to remove it. Use the chisel. Make sure when you use the chisel, just go along the grain, not across the grain. If you start scratching across the grain, that way you will make a lot of scratches. So just along the grain, very gentle, just to remove the glue line. The next stage is to sand. Use one of the orbital sanders or the palm sanders just to even it out and make a nice blend in. Okay, so what Martin did on one of the papers, sandpapers, that was 150 grit. So if you use 150 now, is back to 180. So 180 will do a full run everywhere, so it's nicely blended. There's no scratches from 150. So now once it's sanded, we are putting the template on the thread. Again, just to remind you, that side of the template, that line there, is actually that line there, the front of the riser. So very important to set it off 2 centimeters away, as this is where the riser goes, so 2 centimeters away from the front. So the next stage is just to mark the lines, and again, Martin prefers to use his track saw, but quite often, if you're quite skilled DIYer or joiner, fitter, you can as well use the jigsaw if your cuts are quite good actually. So you can also do that. Definitely more accurate cut is on the plunge or saw, or what's called the track saw. Also remember about removing the glue or adhesive from underneath the thread. Okay, so we've got one more cut to do, which is just that little triangle over there. Okay, we've got our thread already cut, and let's see if it fits. Sometimes you may have to cut twice as it may need some adjustments. Let's have a look. Okay, we see there's experienced joiner here, so okay, so as I said before, at the moment we're just pre-cutting threads. We put them just to make sure they all fit in. And the last thread in the next part we'll be doing is the bullnose thread. Thanks for watching part 7. If you like this video, if you found it useful, please subscribe to our channel. So my name is Lucas and I will see you in part 8, which we will do the bullnose thread. So see you there. Thanks for watching.